Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Here we go now. Green 39.
First carry for Nick Chubb. Oh, he sheds himself free. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. 319.
They go play action. Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Shreds the tackle. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. from the gun. Fields. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now let's go.
2nd down, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Oh, and now he bowls him over. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Now let's go.
They'll go option to the short side. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. Screenplay. Johnson. Johnson with a burst. A 1st down and more. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
The first carry for C.J. Prosise. And his first carry, he loses the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force the early turnover, and now they're trying.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields. To the right side to Eric Ebron. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so fourth from the bottom, Charles.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Operating from the gun, Fields. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They run again on first down. Chubb. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They go with Chubb on second down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
So they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Mayfield now. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. So a big third down hookup here will take us to the break. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Caught left side, it's Beckham.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. And that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment.
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. What did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive didn't in the end zone.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to throw. Fields underneath for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Chubb on the counter, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Nifty running by Beckham. It's caught by OBJ. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A give. This is Chubb. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he got great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And look at this. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play works. Excellent execution. 18 yards on that fake and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
We give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Browns on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Oh, nice move. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Hey, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go!
Balaj. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Really nice pickup on 1st down. Leaves them with 2nd and short, and you figure, let's go ahead and run it again. But, boy, that outcome leaves you in a difficult 3rd down, doesn't it?
Didn't stand a chance from the start. You could tell they were going in the wrong direction. On 3rd down, Fields. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey's 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you talk about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. From the gun, Mayfield dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. 1st down, Mayfield. Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Mayfield. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up in Lambeau, an NFC North battle between Detroit and Green Bay. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Let's go!
Right back to him on first down. Good move by Duke. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Balaj. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, hold it and get good yard.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, You're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys, but let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Mayfield. They set up the screen to Joe. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now let's go. Green.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
And again, it's Chubb. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Mayfield. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense. And
there he was in the slot for the catch. This quarterback now still just the one incompletion, 16 of 17. It's first down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Over the middle of Beckham. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb, and he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Mayfield looks to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie the score now at 9 apiece. Well, it's been a field goal extravaganza so far. That's 3 for him now, and it ties our game at 9-9.
I got a feeling the touchdowns are coming, though. Trust me on that one.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now. Green.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 53 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run here with Barnes. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They go play action here on first down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He's going to get it running right, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Fields. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Second down, Mayfield. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw, Mayfield, and that is incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, do you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 1st and 10, Fields. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They run it with Balaj. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. To throw from his end zone. Fields. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And this one will be touchdown right at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A run for Nick Chubb, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now Chubb, and that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Back to throw. Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's McKenzie. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McKenzie. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They go to Johnson again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Now let's go. 3,
Again, it's Johnson. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait, because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Fields. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. He got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
They'll look to throw. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's taken down inside the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do.
Extra point attempt here still to come. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. To throw on 2nd down, Fields. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Off the bootleg. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. Fields. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. 10 seconds to go. Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Cleveland, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.